You're listening to episode 1 of the Neon Lounge podcast.
Welcome to the Neon Lounge. Right this way.
It's the Neon Lounge. We're talking about Las Vegas. In the Neon Lounge, a conversation for the ages. Get dressed up real pretty. We've got a date in Sin City at the Neon Lounge.
Welcome to the Neon Lounge podcast. We are so glad you decided to join us today while we talk about Las Vegas and enjoy each other's company. I'm your host, Josh. With me are my incredible co-hosts. Of course, we have the lovely Karen.
Well, hello. Hi, guys.
And the incomparable Tony.
Hey, gang.
It is so awesome.
This is fun.
Yeah, to just be back together and doing this again. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I bet you.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
bet you have. Especially if for no other reason, and this is kind of the maybe the cherry on the top of the sundae for why we waited until essentially this date for the purposes of recording this show now. And for those of you that aren't familiar, Josh, what happened today, man? Today as we record this, let's say.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Today is the day that we released Mark's second book, Vegas
Woohoo!
Icons and Legends.
We did. And apparently there's been enough people that ordered it because I ordered some authors' copies this morning.
Right.
And everyone else on social has been, because you could not pre-order those. You had to
Right.
wait until today. You could pre-order the Kindle, but like the actual print copies. And so I ordered a bunch, for a few people, and I'm not getting them until like June 3rd. So apparently there's people that are talking about, hey, I'm getting mine on Monday
Tuesday
or
and on
Tuesday
Wednesday.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, whatever their initial print run was, we must have busted through that already,
Oh, cool.
which
They've
makes
got
me happy.
one printer dedicated to it, and so you are at the end of the line.
That's
And
exactly
the ink is running out. 'Cause
Right.
It's not as big as the first book, but it is no small thing either. So yeah, and so that's Josh. I'm just going to mix you guys up all the time. Josh had talked about because we had a conversation after Mark died about do we want to do something else? What's going on? And Josh knew right away that he definitely wanted to do something in a podcast realm or whatever it was, which I fully supported. I knew Tony was like, yeah, dude, whatever. But Josh said, I know, because he wanted to do the podcast. Like he wanted to get started on that. But he told me, like, I knew that I had to get the book done first. And doing the podcast then was the fun stuff, my reward for going through all of it.
Right.
Huge thank you, Josh, because again, without you, it wouldn't, if it was up to me, it wouldn't have seen the light of day because I just have no idea what I was doing. But so super excited about that. And then it just seemed like, it was the right time. The fact that the timing of the book, getting published today, which is Mark's birthday and the birthday of the city of Las Vegas, just was kind of serendipitous, right?
Yeah.
So, So yeah, it's time. We've all had time to, process and grieve and do all that fun stuff. I am thankful that I have a fantastic therapist who's helped me out a ton.
That's great.
And I'm excited about doing this. And I think Mark would be very happy about the fact that, the three of us were still getting together and cutting up, and that he doesn't have to try to wrangle us anymore. That's now Josh's job. So
Yeah.
Good luck with that, Josh.
He's laughing about that for sure.
yes, he is.
All right, well, listen, I suppose we should start the show. Welcome again to the Neon Lounge, and this week we start with in Las Vegas. Nope, see, gang, this is what happens when you change out my script. I cannot
10
read.
years of doing it one way.
That's right. So that's awesome. I think Okay, so here's what we're going to do, gang. Every week we're going to have something that happened this week in Las Vegas news. And so that's what I'm trying to say, but I'm not doing it well. So one more time. And we start this week in... We start with this week. Yeah, I'm reading that right, aren't I?
We start
with this week in Las Vegas. That's what I've been saying, isn't it?
More or
I
less.
think you skipped the this.
Hey, by the way, Josh, you asked on Discord, you started up a poll. What should the first cocktail of
That's right.
episode 1 be for you? The options were Sinatra Smash or the Serpico from Giada. Which one did you end up going with, my friend?
So Sinatra Smash is what? 1. 4 to 1. So yeah, I'm enjoying a Sinatra Smash. I've got my backup ready too, because knowing the three of us, we will record for a long time. So
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I will just warn you, I did not bring a backup. So when this tumbler gets low, you all may have to vamp for a minute while I go down and make myself another. So
Okay.
just putting that out there. Because yes,
Fair
knowing the three of us, this could go long.
that's right.
This one might be one of the longer ones. But yes, this is exciting. This was a really neat idea, Josh, that you had come up with. And so I look forward to having you come up with something every single week. Although, you only have to come up with one thing, for 52 times.
Every other week.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, 26.
Exactly. 26, you're right.
Yeah. So
Great point. So what do we got in Las Vegas history for this week?
yeah, so this week in Vegas history, and it's actually a twofer, and you'll figure out why in a little bit here. But first, this week in Vegas history, May 21st, 1974, Bob Stupak's world-famous historic gambling museum burned down. So the short-lived Stupak Casino opened March 31st of the same year and then burned down on May 21st. The site later became Vegas World and then part of the Stratosphere and Strat Story.
So wait, so was it I'm sorry, I'm asking questions here. So was this a museum or was it a casino?
Yes.
Or was it both?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
It was not a resort. Like, it did not have any place to stay. So
It wasn't
you
a
could,
hotel. Okay.
yeah. So there was some dubious gambling history there. You can find out more about this in the book Vegas Icons and Legends, currently available on Amazon.
So this week in history might weirdly coincide with a particular chapter that you would want to go and buy a book from,
That's
be
right.
able to read about. Got it.
Yeah.
Very cool. I see.
If you want to know more about
That's
Bob
awesome.
Stupak's world-famous historic gambling museum and what happened to it and how it relates to the Stratosphere or Strat, check out the book wherever you buy your books.
And
Or
listeners,
just at
lest
Amazon,
you've-
not wherever you buy your books.
Or at Amazon.
That's right.
Well, that's true. It's not going to be at a Barnes & Noble
No.
if there's any of those still around.
I'm walking
yes.
around Kroger. Hello. First of all, why am I buying books from Kroger? What has happened with my reading? Listeners, lest you think that Josh and Karen are being unnecessarily wordy, they are not. It really was called Bob Stupak's world famous historic gambling museum. That is.
I picture one of those signs where they run out of words and then the letters start getting smaller as they get to the end of the building.
That's how it just keeps narrowing
They
down.
run out of
Bob
space.
Stupak is going to be
Right.
the main space on the marquee, and then underneath it, world famous.
The letters
They're
start to
much
go down
smaller.
the side of the building,
Yes.
like when you're
Yes.
writing on paper.
Right.
Exactly.
You're trying to make it all fit. That's awesome. All right, but you said this was a twofer, Josh.
That's right. So also on May 21st, but this time in 2014, the Cromwell grand opening ceremony took place.
Oh, wow.
And so
That's
I
a good
wanted
one.
that one stuck in this week, and we'll talk a little bit more about that.
So that
when we
one,
get-
the Cromwell only lasted, was it really
12 years?
12 years?
yeah.
That doesn't seem possible that it's been 12 years.
I know.
Oh my God,
I
I'm
know,
getting
man.
old.
I know. It's a
Which
little unfair.
somebody posted out on Discord, and I'm going to make sure. So if you guys want any, that apparently the rumor is that the Cromwell chips are going to be swapped out on the 21st, I think, or in the next 2 weeks. So it's on my mission this week to get down there and make sure. Because I don't know if Mark had a Cromwell chip. I need to look back at the little collection, but I'm going to make sure I run down there and grab one. I know,
Yeah.
Josh, I think you're actually going to be in town.
Yes.
But if I'm going and it's easier, if you guys want something, just let me know later. Put your orders in. Don't ask me for $100 tip because you're not getting that. But a 1 or a 5, I'm happy to do that for you guys. So
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice. All right, it's time to get into the news. Let's find out what's going on in Vegas.
From the strip to downtown, we'll pass it around. Here's what's going down in Las Vegas.
All right, Josh. So first up in the news, we've got the, well, no shit Sherlock. We've started a new podcast.
That's right. So first, before I dive into the specifics, I want to express my gratitude and just how happy I am that these two people are joining me for this. This has been something that, like to Karen's point earlier, has been kind of kicking around my brain for the last 9 months. And I did not think that I would get both of these fine people here to join me. I am so glad that they decided to.
Which one was the sketchiest? Which one did you have the least amount of faith was going to say?
Tony 100%.
Folks can't see it. Yeah, Tony's pointing at
Tony
himself,
100%.
which is funny. I don't know if Josh told you, Tony, but when he was like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this. I'm going to ask Tony. Neither one of us thought you were going to say yes, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So very pleasantly happy and surprised that you did, because I think, this is part of the reason why we're all friends. I think our personalities just work well together. And we've known each other for so long that there's some inside jokes and there's a few other things in there. So I'm thrilled. And I'm glad to be doing this. Like you said, we talked about it before. I've missed chatting with you guys on a regular basis. And glad it's not going to be weekly because, as we know, right. Mark was a slave driver and that was a lot.
Yeah.
But this is fun. And it does put a smile on my face that we're getting together and doing this. So.
And to the listeners, the three of us can just go. Like, we can just talk and talk. I canceled my Zoom Pro or whatever it is subscription. And so we were trying to have a conversation a few weeks ago on like the free plan that limits you to 40 minutes. And I thought, we only have to talk about these two things. We'll get through it in 40 minutes. Guys, it took
how many 40-minute conversations?
3 40-minute phone calls to get through it. I think like we got cut off the third time and I texted him. I was like, anyway, you guys get the idea. Like, we got stuff to do. So that is who we are, the three of us together. And so, it's probably makes sense, especially, for the sake of the other people in our lives, that we're limiting this to every 2 weeks. But again, thank you guys. This is good. I am so looking forward to this. We always have so much fun chatting together. So.
Yeah.
I got to concede, Karen. I kind of approached, so let me rephrase it. When Josh approached me about it, I think I really kind of took on the Ruben role from Ocean's 11. I'm like, you got to be out of your goddamn minds.
Totally.
and let's just say this thing actually does happen. You gotta remember, you're still in the fucking desert.
We are still in the fucking desert.
In the middle of the goddamn desert.
Exactly. It was really one of those. But then also he played it well. He played me like I was Saul and I'm at the dog track, and like, everybody knows my dog breaks late, and when my dog doesn't come in, I drop my losing ticket. I'm like, all right, let's go. Here we go. When I gave him every reason to say, you know what, Tony, never mind, I got it, no problem, man. Smart, you're right. I'll and when he wouldn't do it. He finally got me to be like, all right, Tony, I did. I was like, he's not going to walk. He's not going to let me say no to this. And I thought, I think I would be an idiot to say no. So anyway, it was, like I said, some combination of Ruben and Saul.
And I've given you both the chance multiple times to say no. Are you sure you're still up for it? You sure you're still up for it? So
he's waiting for one of us to. Well, and so folks that watched watched the Yo 11. Is it a podcast? Because it's a video. I don't know what it is.
They do both.
They do both. But it was so funny, the end of their last episode, when they're like, yeah, there's this podcast. And I think it's just Josh. Maybe Tony and Karen will be on, but they're not going to all.
Just the first episode.
Right, just the first episode. That's all it's going to be. And it was just so funny as Movestro is texting you mid-conversation with Traeger. And he's like, no. it's all three of them. So, or until, what did you say? Or until one of them tells me otherwise.
One of them tells me otherwise. That's right.
Right. Was what you said, which was just so funny. That whole little thing had me cracking up because they're both like, yes, no, maybe, well,
watching them solve the mystery of what this is. Yeah. So what is this? I've been using this phrase a lot. You may have heard me say it on the Chef de Money podcast, if any of you listeners caught that. And if you didn't, you should. First of all, it's a fantastic podcast. Second, you get to hear...
And that was a fun...
Yeah. You get to hear the three of us kind of back together again after several months. So that's episode 83. But what I've been saying is I kind of picture this or envision this. Those are both visual words, and this is not a visual medium. But anyway, this is the spiritual successor to 360 Vegas. So not like a sequel, not version 2.0, but the spiritual successor. There's going to be a lot of ingredients in this that were in 360 Vegas. The news, obviously, reviews, commentary, a little bit of Vegas history. I will tell the listeners that if you're expecting that Mark level of Vegas history, you're probably going to be disappointed. I just don't have that level in me. But what you just heard with like this week in Vegas history, that's about the level you can expect. I am fully prepared for there to be people who say, this sounds nothing like 360 Vegas, and I hate it. And also people to say, this is an exact copy of 360 Vegas, and I hate it. So, whatever. If you like it, we're glad you're along for the ride.
It's definitely not going to be an exact copy.
No.
Because you can't. Nobody... The three of us don't have Mark's voice. We don't have Mark's... his drive, his passion, his...
Obsession.
Just what it took. Right, obsession. There you go. That's a good word. To put together. And we don't want to do the same thing because you can't replace Mark in that mix, in that formula.
Yeah.
But there's definitely aspects of it that the three of us are comfortable with and that we like and we miss doing. And one of the things we miss doing is talking about what's happening in Vegas.
Right.
So you couldn't do this without, having that aspect of it involved. So yeah, if you're looking for the exact same thing, it's not going to be that. I think to your point, Josh, and with everything, anything that you do or that you put out there, you're going to have people that love it. You're going to have people that hate it. And if you hate it, I will steal this from the 360 Vegas podcast. If you don't like it, don't listen. That's okay.
Because we really don't give a shit.
Right. But it's true. And again, we're doing this because it's fun for us. And if it's fun for other people, then that's just bonus.
Welcome aboard. Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, meetups. That was the next thing on my list here. So because I'm putting this on the whole thing of discussing this because that was one of the first things people started asking us when we said, hey, we're starting something up again. Apparently people really liked Vegas vacations. So I will say right now, nothing is firm yet. I'm already kicking around some ideas for what I'm calling right now Neon Vacation 1, summer 2027. That's as far as I've got in the planning and probably as far as I'll get for another 6 months. So
which makes sense because a lot can change in 6 months. So there's no point in planning it a year in advance.
Totally. And I'm still getting used to being like the driving force behind a podcast. So
it's a lot more work than you thought it was.
Oh,
isn't it?
Good Lord. I need a different hobby. So anyway, it's something we're thinking about. We'll let you know when we know more. I will say there is an unofficial meetup that 360 Vegas listeners have put together. We'll talk more about that shortly. In terms of like when you can expect stuff from us, episodes are going to be dropping every 2 weeks. We're not going to do the weekly thing. We've already said that a couple of times. I think it's just going to give us more of a chance to live our lives. You can expect commercials to drop on Sundays. I'm sorry, episodes. I'm reading ahead. And how many Sinatra smashes in am I? You can expect episodes to drop every Sunday. That's what 360 Vegas was doing for the standard feed as well. There will be, I will say, commercials on the main feed. But I will also start a Patreon feed very soon that will have, among other things, no commercials, and that will have Saturday drops for the episodes whenever possible. Along with that, for the Patreon people, there will be bonus material. We're kicking around some ideas. I think one of the things I want to do is more of that hammered history. We only did 2 episodes with 360 Vegas, and those were so fun. So I do think if you're looking for more Vegas history, you probably will get that through our special inebriated lens. So we'll probably do a few of those. And then I love movies. I love Vegas movies. And sometimes, I don't know if any of you have done this, but when you're like hard up for Vegas, sometimes you'll watch any crap that's made out there that has Vegas in it. And so I thought a great idea would just be to review terrible movies with Vegas in it. So that is something that I'd like to...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That means I'm going to have to watch bad movies.
Maybe.
Okay.
So...
Well, I will fall on the sword. I will be the guy that will take the movie nobody wants to review. I will take Showgirls. So someone here has to be the good guy. I guess it'll be me.
What a martyr.
So.
For the cause. I appreciate that, Tony. And I don't know if I can reveal this, but I know that Tony picked up a little something recently that indicates to me that there might
Hey, it got cleared up with penicillin. Thank you very much.
No, I wasn't referring to that thing. I was referring to something that you picked up that indicates to me that there might be some cocktail videos on the Neon Lounge Patreon feed.
Did you actually, did you pull the trigger on that, Tony?
I did. I did indeed.
Yay.
I did indeed. And much like with 360 Vegas Patreon, I will make the cocktail videos for the Neon Lounge Patreon subscribers. Probably actually with the drink that I've got in my hand, this wound up being a really good cocktail. It is an apple old fashioned. So it's a bourbon based cocktail, but the simple syrup that you make for it is just it's stellar. I'm not gonna lie, being an apple old fashioned, it's a little more fall autumnal, as some people would say.
Sure.
Just in its flavor, but it doesn't mean it doesn't go down damn smooth while you're recording a podcast on May 15th.
Anyway, that's what you guys can expect from the Neon Lounge podcast. It will evolve over time.
Are we still going to be posting the first couple episodes under the 360 Vegas feed as well?
Yeah.
Just so that folks can find it easy.
Yep.
And maybe introduce it to some folks. Okay, I just want to make sure, because we'll run them simultaneously
for the first 3 episodes. Every episode of the show notes will have a link to subscribe for those people on the Podbeam stream, the old 360 Vegas stream, just so that you can follow us over here.
Good. And I'm sorry, I'm being harassed to death by dogs right now. They are literally, they're nosing one arm, and then I kind of put my arm on the other side, and one of them comes over, starts licking that hand, and then a second ago, Valkyrie's under the desk licking my toes. I'm like, okay, stop.
My gosh.
They're like, just quit.
Hey, pay attention. Hey, right here. Look down here.
Mom, you're talking, and it's not to us.
Right. So, they are not used to that at all.
And they can't hear you guys because I've got my earbuds in. So they're definitely, would you stop it?
So, Josh, you had also alluded to this a few minutes ago. Maybe this is part of the reason why we will one of the many reasons we will miss Mark is who is the person who used to have to keep the train, put the train back on its tracks when we would go off like this. But Josh, you had made mention about an unofficial meetup. Can you share a little bit of that with us?
Yeah, so some listeners have put together an unofficial meetup. Mostly this has been spearheaded by listener David, who is at Red Chip Squad. First of all, I'll say no promises that the 3 of us will be at any of these yet. I know that at least 2 out of 3 of us will be in town during this, but we had already had some other plans, so I'm not sure if we're going to be at these events. But you guys are all more than welcome to be there. So Sunday,
and if we can, if we're around and we can, we will.
Yeah, we're not going to be like, oh God, don't make eye contact. Walk. Past,
no. This isn't and it's ironic because we did have some of us had some other things scheduled. The dates that they picked.
Yeah.
And the listeners randomly picked these dates, and so it just happened to coincide with the same time. That we have a few other things going on, but love, thank you, David, for kind of spearheading this and, getting everybody together, because I think, we've had a lot of questions about when are we doing another meetup? When are we doing another Vegas vacation? And I don't think any of us were opposed to it, but I just don't think that we had the bandwidth, the energy, the focus to kind of start putting some stuff together. And it's been really nice to see. It's been heartwarming for me to see folks are like, look, we miss our annual meetups. We miss our time getting together and meeting with other degenerates that like the same podcast. So it's not even, the best part about us not knowing if we're going to be there is they're not coming to getting together to see us. Right. They're doing this because they want that community and they want to get together, which I absolutely love. So thank you, David, for getting that ball rolling and really working on this. And I know Josh is going to go through the events, but if we can be there, I think we will.
Yeah.
But we no firm commitments just yet.
That's right.
So right now the schedule is, and this is great. David put this together in kind of, again, a Vegas vacation fashion where there's a lot of open space in terms of time. So you can come to Vegas and still do a lot of the things you want to do and still do these meetups. So starts Sunday, June 21st, downtown, meet at Whiskey Liquor Up at about 4. And then David's saying that if anyone's interested, then do a visit to the Neon Museum after that for anybody who wants to go along for that. Then the next day, Monday, June 22nd, a meetup at either Bottled Blonde or Brewdog at 6 p.m.
And weren't they talking about doing some type of, was it Bottled Blonde that has some kind of a beer class or something?
I think that's actually Brewdog. Yeah. I don't know if they got enough interest for that, but there was some kind of cocktail class or something like that at Brewdog. I don't know if they're doing that or not, but that was floated out there.
And have you guys been to Bottled Blonde or Brewdog? Can you guys speak at all to either of these?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I know Mark went to Bottled Blonde. I have no interest because it's a monstrosity of a building and it's, 3-4 stories of crazy music and whatever else that I was just like, I'm not.
It sounds like it would be a lot of peopling. And I'm not interested in peopling. I'm in Vegas.
Right.
How can I do Vegas without peopling?
Just show rat in every place you walk into.
Come during the middle of the week. Yeah. And come, during the off-peak times, which if you want to know when Vegas is dead, I can absolutely tell you. So, yeah.
See, and then David's got the final thing on his calendar here, Tuesday, June 23rd, meetup at Chandelier Bar at 6 p.m. So there you go. Unofficial meetup happening just next month.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool bunch of ideas that David came up with, especially if you guys are meeting up at Whiskey Liquor Up at 4 p.m. and assuming that you're there for, let's just say 2-ish hours, that gets you done by 6 o'clock. What a wonderful time to make it to the Neon Museum. Yeah. Because by the 6:30, 6:45 marker, the sun's starting to set. I bet those lights are starting to turn on, become activated and whatnot. And that's and I'm sure he planned it that way. I'm sure that was where his head was at on picking a 4 p.m. Whiskey Liquor Up meetup. But that's, quite frankly, I think that's
the tricky thing is you do need to have tickets to get into the Neon Museum. And sometimes, depending on the time of year, it can get full up. So,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that would be the only thing if you want to try to tag those on. I would say don't wait too long to buy your tickets. And you could even do it at 7,
right.
or something like that. But
sure.
just know, especially for the shoot.
What's
the show?
In the back. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, yes. The Brilliant show. That one will be definitely
after dark,
more time slots for there versus you could just get into the museum, but you'll still need tickets. And if the museum's full, then you can't get in. So,
I have legit.
And the best place.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say this right now has all been, from what I know, has been communicated mostly through the Discord server. I don't know that they've moved it to X or Twitter or whatever the hell, or anywhere else. I think Discord is where. So if folks are interested, and you're not already on the 360 Vegas Discord server, reach out to Josh because he knows how to get you in.
That's right.
All right, that's going to do it for news. Let's roll into the medley.
It's time for the medley. a little this, a little that, a couple chips from the stack. What's happening in Vegas?
The medley is a bunch of random nuggets of information that we thought you might find interesting. All of Primm Valley is closing July 4th. All casino hotel operations, gas stations, and even the Lotto store on the California side of the property are expected to close. Morris Day and the Times show at the Star of the Desert Arena in Buffalo Bills, originally scheduled for May 23rd, was announced to be canceled this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
this is a little crazy to me.
Well, I was just going to get out of my head, Karen. That's crazy. All this time has gone by and you still manage to be like, I'm going to say what Tony's thinking right now. Because my cow is
I don't want to know you that well.
It is frightening in there, Karen. It is frightening. This seems like this is a really big deal. Is it not?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so
is.
as someone, because every time I go to Vegas and back, I drive through there. And I will say that the area has been in decline over the years. Like they've slowly closed a property at a time. The fact that they're closing the gas stations, to me, is an indicator that there's something else majorly wrong with this company.
And they're all owned by the same company.
Yeah.
So that's what's odd about this is it's not like they're like, okay, if they have, 2 casinos? Okay, let's just shut down one and focus our time and energy there. And a gas station like Primm is a major stopping point.
Right.
For people doing that drive between Las Vegas and Southern California and the lottery, like literally whenever the lotto would get up to these, couple $100 million, whatever it was, they would always show pictures of the lines of people just standing outside. And I agree. I think there's something else going on for them to just completely shut down the town is weird. Very weird. All right, next up, the Eagles have announced 6 new residency dates at the Sphere. Now, these are all Friday and Saturday. They are September 18th and 19th, November 13th and 14th, and November 27th and 28th. The 6 shows will bring their total number of Sphere shows to 64, making the Eagles the musical act with the largest number of Sphere concerts so far. Which, considering there's only been 4 musical acts with residencies there,
right.
maybe 5. Yeah, but no doubt
statement.
just started theirs the last week or so. So that's kind of a new and a little bit of a younger band, I think of, kind of when you're in there. So no, the Eagles are killing it. And one of the things.
Hang on, Karen. I'm sorry. Who do you think's a younger band?
No doubt.
Oh, I'm sure you don't doubt it, but who's the younger band? Come back for the 10 o'clock show. It's different than the 8.
I had a point. I don't remember what it was, so we're just going to move on.
Sorry.
Josh, you're up next.
Hard Rock International and Seminole Gaming hosted a topping off ceremony on May 1st to mark the placement of the final structural beam atop the 660-foot Guitar Hotel, exactly 19 months after ground first broke at the former Mirage site. The new Hard Rock Hotel is expected to open late 2027.
If I was a betting person, I would say that's not going to happen until 2028. But
probably, yeah. I will say, so 1 year ago this weekend, I booked a room at Treasure Island, and I was asking for a specific placement for my room. I was telling them on the phone, I want to be able to look down the strip before the guitar tower gets built. And the lady on the phone with me said, oh, honey, that's not going to happen for several years. And here we are a year later. You can't do that. So,
yeah.
The Evel Knievel Experience, an interactive museum of America's original Daredevil, opens June 27th in the Arts District. General admission tickets are starting at $35.
I just want to know, how interactive is this Evel Knievel experience? Like, do they throw you over a fountain or something?
You, exactly. Rocketing
jump
you
the
over
Grand Canyon.
School buses. I did not sign up for this.
And of course, you can't make it. You got to crash.
Right.
Awesome.
I was really surprised by this. I thought I knew where the location of this was. And so I was surprised it was opening already. And when I looked at the article, it's not where I thought it was. It is in the Arts District, which is great. I'm telling you people, A, if you've never been to the Arts District, B, if you haven't been there in a while, there is so much down there. It's just so cool. I was actually thinking, the other day that I had kind of a day to myself. I wasn't doing anything. I'm like, I should just go wander around the Arts District. Like, that would be a lot of fun. So on Sunday, May 17th, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Caesar's Palace and the grand opening of the Tao Group's Omnia Day Club and Sky Bar, 12-time X Games medalist and world record holder Colby Raha will attempt a motorcycle jump across the Caesar's Palace front fountains.
I put these back to back for a reason.
Raha hopes to beat his own record for the world's highest motorcycle jump at 100 feet in the same location as Evel Knievel's legendary 1967 jump attempt.
Can I just say something real quick here to Karen in particular? Karen, I'll tell you what. I sure do miss Mark. And if there's one thing that will live on through this podcast, thanks to Mark, it's these run-on fucking sentences with no fucking punctuation to have any clue where to pause or pivot based on what's written there.
I think I handled that very well, though.
I think you handled that like a champ. Like a champ.
You should see, if you guys could see Josh's face right now, he's so mad.
As well he should be. As well he should be. Fuck you.
He's got his hands over, like, on top of his head. Just, you can see the expression in his face. He's like, I'm going to kill you, Tony. I'm going to kill you.
Oh, no, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Speaking of things I hate, Deadline is reporting that Bravo has ordered a new series spinoff of Vanderpump Rules. This one centered around the newly rebranded Vanderpump Hotel, site of the former Cromwell, and various other names. The news caused an immediate spike in the price of Botox in the Las Vegas Valley. No word on when the show is expected to air.
That really is an insufferable show. If you've never watched any of the Vanderpumps, and I will say, I got roped in a few years ago when they had what was that cheating scandal? Where there was a couple. So the whole Vanderpump Rules follows around these young, beautiful people that work at their nightclubs, restaurants, bars, all that kind of stuff. And inevitably, they're all sleeping together, right, in some way, shape, or form. But there was a couple, and they'd been together for like 7-8 years, something like that. And he started having an affair with her best friend. And it broke, and it was the most fascinating train wreck. I only ever watched the reunion specials to catch up on it, but oh my good Lord, the guy was getting death threats from people because he was such a shit. Oh yeah, it was beautiful. It was so much fun to watch. Oh, wow. But I tried to watch like a couple of episodes of this. I'm not a big reality TV person. Once Real World jumped the shark back in the day,
right.
like that I was in, but that quickly, lost everything. But it's just, these people they're young and they're pretty and everybody wants to be an actor or a model, and it's just, oh my God, these people are so insufferable. It's not even funny. Which, again, I agree with Josh. I hate the fact that this is, now it's not even going to be the Cromwell, which was a name I didn't get or understand when it became the Cromwell.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, really? You're going to lose the Cromwell to become a Vanderpump Hotel? Yuck.
I agree.
So,
I hate that I might watch it just because it's in Vegas, because again, it's in Vegas, and it makes me so mad at myself, really.
Gang, I'll put in a plug for a show that I do not watch, but my wife is telling me I really should watch a television program called Hacks, particularly this season, apparently almost the entire season. So it's a scripted sitcom.
It's a scripted comedy.
Yeah.
Yes, but apparently this particular season, either all of it or almost all of it has been taped in Vegas. Yeah. And so she said it's just been fun getting to watch all the Vegas porn.
I watched the first season, and it's good. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I couldn't get through like the first 2 episodes. Like I started watching it because it's about a comedian, an older female comedian who is in Vegas, from what I understand. And she's trying to revive her career and a few other things, at least the early season. I watched the first couple episodes and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. Not getting into it, but good to know that this year, season 3? Is it now?
3, yep. And I think it's its final season. But
lots of Vegas porn.
Lots and lots. As a matter of fact, apparently, I guess part of the storyline is the Jean Smart character buys she doesn't actually buy the Plaza Casino, but she buys the casino that sits at the end of Main Street at Fremont.
Okay.
And it's, so there you go. All right, speaking of downtown and right across the street from the Plaza, Derek Stevens is reporting that the Canada at Par promotion has been successful. Within 3 months, the promotion has brought in more than 50,000 Canadian visitors, generated more than 5,100 hotel room bookings, and produced over $10 million in slot play. Room rates are at par at the time of check-in. You'll have to circle back to that one, Josh. Canadian guests can exchange money for up to $500 in slot play at par, and the program will continue at least through August 31st. So what's going on? Give us a little bit for those that don't know, what's going on here?
Yeah, so, there were fewer Canadians traveling to the U.S., I think partly because, our executive branch was talking about annexation,
making them a 51st state.
Yeah. So, we weren't seeing as many Canadians coming over. And so they had this promotion. So it's basically saying that they will give you the equivalent in U.S. dollars of Canadian dollars, right? So,
because right now the Canadian dollar is worth less than the U.S. dollar is. So, like if it's a $100 room rate, it would cost Canadians 110 Canadian dollars to come over, whatever the exchange rate is, right? And so the whole at par promotion was, you give us $1 Canadian, I will give you $1 American.
Right. And apparently it's working out pretty well for Stevens Group.
He's contemplating this very
No.
seriously.
That's a great. I listen. How many years have I said I swing from Derek Stevens' nuts? The guy just can do no wrong in my eyes, because he truly knows how to run a casino for gamblers. And it's a total loss leader. It's a complete loss leader in theory, on paper, to sell a $110 room rate to a Canadian for $100 Canadian, right? I mean, it's just, you're losing money to do that. That's ingenious, because what has he done? It's produced over $10 million in slot play.
Right.
So it's a loss leader on paper, but not when you look at the casino revenue. It's ingenious.
Well, and especially with the visitation is still down in Vegas overall, and the fact that they're able to quantify. No, we ran this promotion, and here is what we've gotten incrementally from folks coming in. I think is huge. So yeah, I think it's. But he did this. He did this after the pandemic. If you remember, he was giving away Southwest flights.
Right.
Just to get people.
Yeah, he was like chartering flights from certain cities.
Yeah. Certain cities. He's like, all right, I got X number of plane tickets to give away. Come on over. And it got people back in the door. So next up, MGM Resorts president Bill Hornbuckle says that he's open to the idea of an NBA team using T-Mobile Arena for home games. T-Mobile is co-operated by MGM and AEG Entertainment. Hornbuckle also said that Vegas Golden Knights owner Bill Foley is part of the talks. Any talk about building another arena in Las Vegas is just stupid. The T-Mobile was actually built. It's one of, and it's what, 8-9 years old now?
Yeah.
It was built as an NBA arena. So if you were to look at other NBA arenas around, they have more amenities and things that are focused on that would support an NBA team than a lot of other arenas that exist around the country. So, and the location is, you're right smack dab in the middle of the strip.
Right.
Like the newest one, they're talking about building something, way down south, like down by M Resort or something like that.
No.
Like, no, you want to be on the strip. That's where you need to be. So I think everybody else is floating the idea of building these arenas. At the end of the day, if they're not, when Vegas gets an NBA team, if it's not playing at T-Mobile, it's a huge mistake.
Right.
So, sorry, off my
Agreed.
soapbox.
Quite all right.
Comedian and panty soaker Matt Rife announced a Las Vegas date for his Stay Golden World Tour. He will perform at the Dolby Live at Park MGM on Friday, December 4th.
I would totally be up to going to see this because the guy's funny. Easy on the eyes. Oh, yes. Funny. Yes.
Thank you for answering the question I had for you about this, Karen.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I would totally go. I find him funny, and I think say what you want. Yes, he's buff, he's cute, he's gorgeous, whatever, but he's funny, and I would totally go see him. But gotta round up maybe a posse of my girlfriends to go. And
I'm glad my editorializing landed on that one.
Mark's sister actually went to see him. Out here in Vegas, the weekend that my niece was out here getting married. Matt Rife also happened to be in town, and she has and I'd never heard of him because I'm like, Who is this guy you're going to see? But she had one of the T-shirts that they actually sell. It says Matt Rife is my hall pass. So yeah, so for a lot of women, it's like if I get a shot at it, and I will say this, he likes older women, so I might have a shot. I'm single now, so I don't need a hall pass, right? So
this guy looks like a giant douche. Come on. I guess
he's easy on the eyes. Don't be hating, Tony.
I mean, Karen, I'm sorry. I don't understand. Can you explain to me what exactly does panty soaker mean? What is that about?
I am not explaining. I didn't write the words. I am not explaining it. If you don't know, then I need to have a conversation with your wife.
Moving along. Las Vegas, and I like how this one was probably intentionally given to me. Here we go.
God, yeah, I put that word there for you, buddy.
Las Vegas will celebrate the semi-quincentennial of the U.S. this summer. 8 weekends of fireworks. The fireworks will be at varying locations throughout the Strip and downtown.
Does it seem to me like there hasn't been a lot of talk and discussion about the fact that it's 250 years this year?
Yeah, not much.
Yes.
It just seems to me like it's been really, really quiet, and it's coming up in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems odd. Cosmopolitan announced that they will resume their dive-in movies at the Boulevard Pool on Monday nights throughout the summer, starting on June 8th. While most of the choices are family-friendly fare, some selections that might appeal to our listeners are on July 6th, Talladega Nights, on August 10th, Ocean's 11, and on August 17th, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mandalay Bay announced that Vinyl Room will open in August on the 63rd floor in the space formerly home to the Foundation Room.
Did they say anything about, I assume Vinyl Room, they're looking to put records on the wall?
Yeah, apparently it's not a room covered with vinyl, which is what I was kind of hoping for to begin with, but it's vinyl records.
They decided to put vinyl on the
upholstery.
furniture to make it easier to clean when
To
people
hose
get
off.
sick or spill drinks or,
That's awesome. Vinyl Vegas is reporting that the water slide and aquarium at the Golden Nugget Pool will be closed for the remainder of the 2026 pool season. Golden Nugget states that the sharks were temporarily relocated to a quote-unquote secure facility for their safety and well-being, and that the animals are doing great. The pool season barely started.
Who wants to bet that they moved them down to Mandalay Bay?
Yeah, probably. Or they're
No,
just
you're right.
in the pool.
There's something had to go wrong because, for them to close that at the beginning of the pool season is a little concerning. Sin City Alert says, quote, Las Vegas casino security on the LV Strip responding to the table games area. Report of an intoxicated male causing a disturbance. Subject approaching random guests offering cash to anyone willing to urinate on him. Employees were requesting that he be removed.
So Sin City Alert has not been doing much lately, but when I saw they had done one within the last 2 weeks, I said, I'm putting this in there for Karen.
Of course.
Yeah.
I love Sin City Alerts. They're the best.
And finally, the PWHL comes to Las Vegas. It was announced this week that the Professional Women's Hockey League will be expanding into Las Vegas. At the time of recording, a team name was not yet announced. Team colors were revealed: Desert Sage and Mustard Yellow. The team will play home games at T-Mobile Arena, already home to the Vegas Golden Knights whenever possible.
That's interesting that they got into T-Mobile.
Yeah.
I would have thought that they would have been out in Henderson where the Silver Knights play.
I think that the plan is T-Mobile when possible when there's not a conflict, and then otherwise, what is that, Lee's Family Forum or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
That. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. My daughter loves hockey, and kick-ass women. Like I look for those kind of role models for her whenever possible. And she's excited about it. When I played the little trailer they put together about this for her, she was like, "Okay, you can have the Golden Knights. This is my team." Like, she is already fired up about this. So I'm excited for her.
I'm not sure how I feel about the colors. So basically a green and a mustard yellow, like
Wrong.
okay.
Wrong. I literally did a Google search on Desert Sage. Desert Sage is a purple.
Oh, well, that's what I called it. That was me editorializing, the green color of sage. Desert Sage blooms purple.
Yes.
The flowers are, yeah.
Yes.
But no, the plant itself is a dark greeny, not bright green. It's a very a dusty green.
Right.
Yeah, green and yellow. That's an interesting color combo.
It is a kind of Green Bay Packerish, but maybe not a little more muted with the desert and the mustard versus the bright neon colors that are in there.
All right, well, listen, I think that's going to do it for the medley. Now, I believe we have a review.
Here's a review, a little overview of a thing or two we did in Las Vegas.
This week, Karen checked out the Alinea pop-up at Bellagio.
I did this, and I have to thank, oh God, it was somebody on Discord. I should have had this ready. That mentioned and kind of tagged me in and said, "I've heard Alinea is coming out. They're doing a pop up in Las Vegas."
I think you tagged him on something.
I think it was Tristan. Okay. So people that don't know, Alinea is a Michelin-starred restaurant in Chicago, and it is impossible to get into. And even if you can get into it, it is not cheap. But it's been around now. 2025 was their 20th anniversary. And so now they are doing an anniversary tour. And they had in other cities as well, not just in Las Vegas, but they had a 6-week kind of pop-up in the Michael Mina restaurant space in Bellagio that's behind the conservatory.
Right.
And so once, Tristan tagged me on this, I was like, oh my God, I have to go. The only date I could get was Mother's Day. Like, literally, this thing has sold out so fast. And Alinea is you can go to the website and check it out. They do a lot of molecular gastronomy, right? So that's kind of taking a flavor that you know very well and changing the format of it so that it doesn't look like what you think it's going to taste like. But when you taste it, it's familiar. It just doesn't look the same way. And this was, thankfully, they did give us a menu at the end of it because I was copiously trying to take notes on what it was I was eating because I knew Josh was like, "You're doing a review on the first episode." I'm like, oh crap. Okay. So I can't just sit back and enjoy it, which I did. It was fantastic. But to give you an example of kind of what this is, the very first dish that came out was, and they brought out a postcard because it's a Chicago restaurant, right? So it's a postcard. It had a picture of a Chicago hot dog on it, and it said, "Greetings from Chicago." And if you're not familiar with what a Chicago dog is, so it's a hot dog, but then it has pickles and tomatoes and relish and celery salt, mustard. There is no ketchup anywhere on a Chicago dog. That doesn't happen.
Right.
But it's a very distinctive flavor combination. And I ended up going with a really good friend of mine who is from Chicago, also originally. She'd also never been to Alinea, and she's also trained as a chef. So, I knew she was going to appreciate what went into this.
Sure.
And so they put the hot dog down, and then they bring out this one little bite, and it was this clear gel little thing that had like a yellow corner, a green corner in the middle. There was a big green dot, but it was literally like less than an inch square. And you took a bite of it, and it tasted exactly like a Chicago dog. So somehow they got the flavors of a Chicago hot dog with the hot dog and the buns and all the toppings and everything into this one little tiny square gel. And
That's amazing.
She literally was like, "Oh my God, this is bringing tears to my eyes." This reminded her of going to Wrigley Field when she was a kid, and having a Chicago dog. So the flavors are just, and again, it doesn't look like a hot dog, but it tasted like one. Then that one, how many courses did I actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 courses, which I will say by the end of it, I had the last course we got was some Wagyu. It was a Wagyu steak, like 4 ounces. It was small. But I could only have a bite or two, and I had to hand it over because I was like, I just can't eat anymore. Like a lot of it was small bites, but it was so well done. And they also tied in, so like the second course was a caviar dish, which, hello, I'm happy.
Right.
But the dish that it was plated in was this glass dish that was like, I'm trying to think of the right word. It was like bubbled. When you see a picture, it'll make more sense. But they literally had you, so they didn't put the dish in front of you. They had you hold out your hand, and they set the dish on your hand. So you could feel kind of the bubbly texture of the dish, which mirrored the texture of the caviar.
Okay.
And so it was more than just, you're eating caviar. You're also getting the feel of in your hand as well as what's in your mouth. Yeah, very much a sensory everything. And that one was so weird because it had like this pineapple gel on the bottom with caviar and then creme fraiche on top. And I never would have thought to put pineapple and caviar together, but it was really fucking good. So I might figure out how to try that at home here a little bit. I just, like a lot of the other stuff were, like the first few things were a few bites. Might have been 1 or 2 bites for each thing. And then it got into a little bit more crazy. One of the courses was called Fear Factor. And so they took various tables up and took 12 of us into this back room in the restaurant. And we're standing around, and each one of us has a tall cylinder, might be about 1.5 feet tall, in front of us with a paper, lid with the Alinea name on it. And there's all kinds of smoke in the room. So it's very it smelled like marshmallows. It was really weird, like roasting marshmallows. But they had, and Tony, I'll have to send you a picture of this. They had this old school cocktail shaker that apparently were big, like way back in the day. It was this gigantic metal thing. And the plans for it had been lost, but they found it again. And it puts 4 shakers in at a time, and you spin the wheel, and it shakes up, these cocktails. And so well, good luck trying to find it because I have a feeling it's not cheap. But it was a gin cocktail with basil and pineapple. And then and they're making all these jokes, like, because we're all standing around this table with these cylinders in front of us. And it's like, well, I brought you 12 in. How many do you think are actually going to get out? And you're like, well, we'll make sure the ladies make it out alive. The guys might not, it's just the whole thing.
Sure.
But then you literally had to take your hand, and they said, pop it down into the cylinder and grab out what you find and eat it. So no idea what you're doing, but it turned out it was a tempura fried scallop on a vanilla bean. So like you literally grabbed the vanilla bean and pulled out almost like a lollipop of this tempura fried scallop. It was,
but it probably
so good.
felt like crusty, like a bug or something like that, right? Like it probably felt initially.
No, it didn't.
No, okay.
Well, no, and I reached down far enough that I actually got the cup that it was sitting in.
Okay.
So I pulled the whole thing out. So I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm dealing with here. But yeah, it was just fun. And we did like the wine pairing. There was another course that looked like It was called Curds and Curds. I don't know why, but it looked like it was a little piece of cauliflower, but it was actually, and again, I'll send you guys the pictures. This stuff was crazy. It was actually a bunch of goat cheese that was made to look like the floury part of cauliflower.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
They pickled a cauliflower stem, and then it had like pistachios crusted underneath it. It again didn't taste like what you were looking at. So there was so much more of this I could go on about. They had a snapper dish that, Tony, you would have loved. It tasted, it was in a sauce that was basically like a tom kha broth.
Oh, wow.
With this beautiful piece of snapper. Oh, it was so good. It was amazing. But it was a whole production because like the course before, they brought out this bowl that has like coconut halves in it. And they're like, okay, don't touch the bowl. We're like, okay. So then they bring out our plates that have banana leaves and flowers and all kinds of stuff with this little bowl in the middle that has the piece of snapper with the broth in it. And they start pouring water into the bowl with the coconut. So it's like a dry ice effect, right? And it's just like pouring all over the table. And so a very sensory thing on top of, because that looked very cold, but you were actually eating something warm. But there was that. There was the truffle explosion. This one, and I know I've talked about it on the show. I am not a truffle fan,
right?
Especially truffle oil. But this is one of their dishes that they're known for. And so they bring out the spoon, and it's this little dumpling that you can see has a piece of black truffle shaved on top. And they're like, okay, take it, put it in your mouth, one bite, and do not open your mouth. And I'm like, that seems like an odd instruction. But as soon as I put it in my mouth and I bit down, I know I said that because there was a little bit of like truffle juice or something that squirted out as I was eating. I'm like, okay, well, that's why you told me to keep my mouth shut. Yeah. But it was such a, and the dessert. I have a video that I will post up. So if anyone has not seen Alinea, they literally do your dessert on the table. And when I say on the table, they put this mat down and paint your dessert on the table. And it's, some ice cream that has been frozen with like dry ice, but then it's got all these like 3 different flavored sauces, and it's got this, it's a whole production. Like literally the chef came out and painted our dessert on the table, and then you just eat it right off the table, which is crazy.
Wow.
But it's something that they're known for. And so at the end of the day, this is kind of the exciting news and kind of the sad news was after they get done with these anniversary tour dates, right, these pop-ups, they are retiring the entire menu at Alinea. So all the stuff that I got to taste, yes, we can see Paisley. Say hi, Paisley.
Hi, Paisley.
She's a lot more quieter. See, now that my guys are getting up because now they're like, wait, who's she talking to?
I know that voice.
Yes, I know. What's going on here? But they're retiring the entire menu. And this is the menu that Alinea has built itself on for the last 20 years. They're doing this tour and they're like, you know what? He's already got a new menu ready to go. And they've announced it. I think within the last couple of weeks, they're actually starting to serve the new menu. And so all of these dishes that I got to try were things that, he earned his Michelin stars for.
Yeah.
That he's not going to make anymore. And he's going to start, which now I'm like, damn, now I got to go back to Chicago so I can have it, whatever the new menu is.
Yeah.
Right. So it was amazing. I am grateful that I had an opportunity to go. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to, but it was, and the staff was amazing. Half of them, I think, were from Chicago. Like they came out and were staying for the 6 weeks. But if you looked at their website, they were also saying, hey, if you're interested in joining our team, for this pop-up time. So I think they got some of the locals to also come in and learn the menu and do the service, cool. Which would be incredible on somebody's resume, if this is what they're looking to get into. But so much fun. And I love that I can do stuff like this in Vegas. Like I didn't have to go to Chicago to go to Alinea. Like it came out to me. So, and I'm grateful for my friend that went with me. It was a blast. I absolutely loved it. And I will say this after it's been an interesting couple of months out here for me lately. And so to have an opportunity to do this was exactly what I needed, especially this week. As folks can imagine, it's been a little rough, bittersweet, with it being Mark's
Sure.
birthday, with the book coming out, with us starting the new podcast, like up and down and happy and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
And I should have probably mentioned, I'm now unemployed because my company decided to outsource the entire accounting department about 3 weeks ago. So there's just been a lot that's going on, and to have this evening with a really good friend of mine that was just so incredible and fun and adventurous, and it was like my happy place. So needed it, loved it. I will post some pictures on Discord, and Josh, you can figure out if you want to reference somehow you want to get to it or whatever. But it was incredible. It's like a once in a lifetime bucket list kind of dining experience that I'm just thrilled I had the chance to do. So, and thank you guys for listening to me ramble, because I know nobody likes food nearly as much as I do. So it's okay.
No, but I know that you love it. And I know there's a lot of people who listen who want to hear your take on food. So I'm glad you're able to do that and to share that with us.
Well, I think that's going to do it for today's show. We want to thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it that you take the time to join us here on the Neon Lounge.
You can find all of our stories on our website at neonlounge.vegas. But Josh is still working on it, so try not to judge it too harshly. It's a work in progress.
That's right. You can also find us on social media, including Facebook, Blue Sky, Threads, TikTok. And if you smash X and Twitter together, you get shitter.
It's funny.
And God knows where else.
Join the conversation on Discord. We're on the 360 Vegas Discord server. An invite can be found in the show notes.
If you would like to send in feedback, you can email us at neonloungepodcast@gmail.com, or call our voicemail line. We have a voicemail line?
We do.
At 702-900-7964. If we like your email or your voicemail, we might even play it or read it on the show.
Vegas Icons and Legends is available for purchase at Amazon.com. Karen, how can our listeners find you?
I am at 360VegasKaren at gmail.com, or 360VegasKaren on pretty much any of the socials. Tony, how about you?
I'm at 360 Vegas Tony, at least for the time being. I'm not sure if I'll create something new, but just for the time being, I figure it's easier while we're going to continue posting stuff to the 360 Vegas podcast stream. I'm going to keep the Twitter handle as well. Josh, where are you at?
I am currently at 360 Vegas J-Dubs, or you can find me at any of the socials listed in the show notes. Hey, listen, we have had one hell of a great time in the lounge with you all today, but it is last call. So until next time, cheers.
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 It's the Neon Lounge. Your server is always prompt. In the Neon Lounge, where the cocktails are all count. We're serving up what you crave. Resort fees are always waived at the Neon Lounge.
Well, wait, hang on. Do I have to say Karen checked out the Alinea pop-up at Bellagio? Because if I do, I need to make sure I'm pronouncing that word right.
It's Alinea. Yeah, that's right.
Alinea. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go.
It's Bellagio.
Fuck you, dude. If I screw that word up now because of you, you planted that seed.